doing this afternoon?
Good.
All right, let's get this Mayor's Media Briefing, Tuesday, October 1st. Happy October 2019. We have two topics today that are connected to the calendar this week. Today is October 1st, and there are a number of national awareness months that are recognized during this month. The city honors Breast Cancer Awareness Month, Domestic Violence Awareness Month, and Bullying Prevention Month. We are also recognizing for the first time the National Cybersecurity Awareness Month. More than 40 municipalities have been the victims of cyber attacks recently, including major cities such as Atlanta, Baltimore, Albany, and Laredo, Texas. Beyond the disruption of local city halls, the attacks have serious consequences, with recovery costing millions of dollars. This summer, the U.S. Conference of Mayors has unanimously resolved to no longer accede to any ransom demands from hackers. In Aurora, we don't want to just be reactive. We want to be proactive by protecting our assets from attack and helping members of our community do the same. While we are highlighting initiatives during this month, rest assured we are vigilant all year long on this front. I'm asking our IT Risk and Compliance Manager, Leela Karamori, to come and share a little bit more. Leela?
Thank you.
Very well.
Good afternoon. Thank you, Mayor Edwin, and everyone for attending. My name is Leela Karamori. I'm the IT Risk and Compliance Manager at the City of Aurora in the IT department. Every October, National Cybersecurity Awareness Month is a collaborative effort between government and industry to raise awareness about the importance of cybersecurity and to ensure that all Americans have the resources they need to be safer and more secure online. This year, the City of Aurora will emphasize personal accountability and stress the importance of taking proactive steps to enhance cybersecurity at home and in the workplace. This year's overarching message: own it, secure it, protect it, which focuses on key areas including citizen privacy, consumer devices, and e-commerce security. The city's IT department continues to collaborate with KnowBe4, the world's largest internet security awareness training platform, to offer Aurora residents a free home internet security course. As part of the city's technology strategy plan, unveiled in February 2019, the IT department has a keen focus on cybersecurity and protecting all stakeholders and the data from unsafe online activities. Under the direction of our Chief Information Officer, Michael Peggis, we have heightened our online security throughout the city and provided ongoing training for all employees and citizens. And we continue to encourage our families to take those same precautions and provide the tools to do so. This home internet security course provides families with a user-friendly tool. The course is designed to assist all members of the family in making wise decisions when it comes to internet usage. Using real-time examples, the interactive videos show the dangers of the internet and what families need to do to stay safe. The 8 lessons include passwords, online banking security, keeping your identity safe, avoiding malware, keeping personal information confidential, protecting children online, securing your home network, email and attachment safety. Each section has a live demonstration showing how the online criminals take advantage of unsuspecting users and finishes up with a security check quiz at the end. To get started using the course, specific details are provided in the city's press release and online at the city's Facebook homepage. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Does anyone from the media have any questions about our cybersecurity? Question?
The online course, is that the same one that you guys talked about a while back? Remember you had sent
Yes.
us out?
Yes, it's the same.
It's the same one.
Yes, it is the same we offered in
Okay.
April 2019. Yes.
Any other questions?
If the city's servers or whatever was hacked, I mean, what would the city do? Do they have a duplication, or I mean, are you guys well covered?
Yes, we are well covered under insurance policy, and we are doing the proactive steps to make everything safe before it is hacked.
So should it be hacked, we do have an insurance policy that will cover, any issues that come up. What about ransoms? There's an
We are
insurance
not
policy.
going to pay ransom.
And but you say we put proactive steps in place to ensure that that probably will never happen. Any other questions? Thank you again, Lee.
Thank you.
Good job. Speaking of awareness months, last April during National Poetry Month, we began to explore the possibility of Aurora Poet Laureate. At the first media briefing in May, we made that announcement and have spent the past few months researching other cities and putting together our plan for Aurora's first Poet Laureate. International Poetry Day is Thursday, October 3rd, and I am proud to announce today that applications are now open for Aurora's first ever Poet Laureate and can be found online at www.aurora-il.org/Aurora Poet, or pick up in person an application right here at the mayor's office. There's 2-week open window applications beginning today and ending October 15th. We'll have an ad hoc committee of staff members and community members review the applications and narrow down the candidates to a small group who will have personal interviews and recitations with that committee. The goal is then to have a final announcement at the first media briefing next month on November 5th, and the laureate's poet's first public appearance at the city's Veteran Day Parade on November 11th. It's a fast-paced process, but based on the response to social media announcement this weekend, we know Aurorans are ready and prepared with their poetry about their city. For instance, we received many poems, but here from a fellow Auroran, Leo Zarko. I'll read it. This is a poem that he sent in to us so that it doesn't appear as favoritism if he should decide to apply to be Aurora's Poet Laureate. It's simply called Aurora. Boxcars clatter and train whistles blow. The Fox River rolls, sometimes fast, sometimes slow. Highs and lows, we all stand together, Aurora strong. Generations of history spanning miles and miles long. Church steeples on Pigeon Hill shimmer when the sun sets. Aurora parades bring honor to our brave United States vets. Police officers, firemen, city officials, all playing their part. Notice the building's facades. You'll find an abundance of art. Schools dating back to the turn of the century, still teaching. Our teachers set goals so our children can keep on reaching. A sense of renewal is growing on this city of lights. Aurora is climbing higher and accomplishing new heights. Built on industry and our forefathers' calloused hands, it's forever a growing place during this time of renewal and renaissance. Leo's here with us, and I believe he has a book for us. Is Leo present?
It's here, definitely.
Oh, man. Well, come on up for a second, brother. Man, I should have let you read that, bro.
It sounded better.
Did-
I write, I don't read. It's a pleasure.
Good to see you, man.
Yeah, it's good to see
So
you.
what is this book you got for us, bro?
I'm not trying to get into the poet laureate.
All right, no, that's all right, that's all right. All right.
But no, It's a book put together by me, who I grew up in Aurora, East Side, and Gerardo.
That's not what it
Gerardo Madrigal, who's a great artist in Aurora, and we collaborated together on that. And we thought I'd present that to you just as a gift. It's our new book. It just came out.
Wow, Drifting, it's called. Let's give him a round of applause. And Mike, so the art that's done on the front of the book, is that also?
It's all Gerardo.
That's an Aurora artist.
He's
Wow.
he's part of our community, and that's really a big emergence in Aurora. We all know, and it brings us all together. And poetry, this is a fantastic undertaking, and there's a big need for it.
Absolutely.
Art heals people, and yeah. So
A great job.
I'm glad to be here.
Well, good to be. Thank you. Thank you. One more time. So, I expect that we have poets just like Leo that are going to be applying, and we look forward to, their art and participating in being Aurora's Poet Laureate. And I think we're going to do it 2 years at a time. Is that correct? So the Poet Laureate that first one we'll bring on will be 2 years, and then we'll have another one 2 years after that. So you have a sample of what we're going to see in our applications. Do we have any questions for me or for the Director of Communications that we can answer about our new upcoming Poet Laureate application process?
For those of us who weren't here in May, what was the genesis for the idea? Where did this come from?
Well, April was National Poetry Month, so we have a group called the Aurora Poetics in Aurora, who put poetry throughout town. And then we were traveling throughout different cities in the spring. And we heard names like Maya Angelou and some of the greats like Toni Morrison, Gwendolyn Brooks, and the mayor said, wouldn't it be great if Aurora had its own poet laureate so I could help tell that story? So that kind of all came in the same time, the April time frame. So the first media briefing in May is when we made the announcement, and we started the planning process.
Any other questions? Yes, sir.
How much time would have to be spent per week or per month? What is expected of the time to be put into this for somebody?
Yeah, we look at up to 12 events per year,
Okay.
and it really boils down to about one a month.
One a month,
During the
okay.
summertime, it may increase because of parades and things of that sort.
So we're looking for the next Maya Angelou, or what's a guy's name as a poet that we know of?
Yeah,
Famous poet.
the poets.
You're right, right.
Edgar Allan Poe,
Edgar Allan Poe. There you go. Next, Maya Angelou or Edgar Allan Poe. There we go. All right. So that was. Any more questions on the Poet Laureate? All right. Well, we look forward to undergoing that process. This was the end of today's briefing. Are there any general questions before I head off to our committee of the whole this evening? Yes.
Thank you. I know this was up for council consideration last week, but could you talk a little bit about the Hobbs Building project? First, the revival of that specific structure and the distinctiveness, and secondly, sort of how it fits in the sort of burgeoning
Absolutely,
developments
man. This,
downtown here.
Right, as you know, we're an old city. We're 180 years old here in the city of Aurora, and we've had some of these structures, these old buildings, sitting around empty for years. We're trying to bring those back online, and we've been able to do that in the last 2.5 years as part of a focus of this administration to reutilize those buildings. First was the terminal that had been empty for 60 years, and then Keystone that was being utilized but wholly underutilized. Both of those projects are being done by a company called Urban Equities that will turn those into market rate apartments on the top floors and retail on the bottom floors. Then of course we have 80 South River, which was the former West Aurora High School headquarters building, their district building. That is also being redeveloped, been empty for about 15 years, and that was one of the last old buildings other than the Hobbs that we had. And that's going to be also market rate apartments and retail and businesses on the bottom level.
Yeah.
We're going to get a business to relocate from Batavia to the city of Aurora. That'll be in our downtown. So we're excited about that. The Hobbs was the last of all those large empty structures that we've had sitting in the city, and that one's been empty for 40 years. So we're excited about the fact that it's going to be redeveloped. That will also be high-end apartments or market rate apartments on the top levels, the top 3 floors, as well as 6 through 12 River Street, which looks like it's a building that's actually connected to the Hobbs, but it's actually a separate PIN number, separate building. So the Hobbs, as well as 6 through 12, will all be apartments on the upper levels and retail on the lower levels.
City-
Go ahead.
I'm sorry, no, the city currently owns,
The city, of all the structures, the city, that's the only one the city owned, and we own it because it had been sitting empty for so many years, deteriorating, that the owner of the building, instead of paying the fines that had been assessed for the deterioration and not being looked after all the decades, you know, he said it'd be, instead of paying, it'd probably be more, it'd be better for them if they just gave us the building. So we got it for $1.
and I recall a few years ago, the cupola had to be shortened,
Right,
if I'm
right.
not mistaken.
Right,
It's
right.
been a while, but.
About 4 years ago now, 4 or 5 years ago, the onion dome had to be removed because you know, it was falling down. And had this building, it saw some hard times, and I'm surprised that it's still standing after all these years, all these old buildings. But you know, architecture was different back then, and building materials were different back then. They built strong structures that lasted the test of time. However, with the last polar vortex, this building was affected greatly, and had it gone through one more winter without being shorn up and starting the process of being redeveloped, it would have fallen down. So we're excited that that we've got this company coming in, J&H Realty, that they'll be doing the work and redeveloping this project.
Is the dome coming back?
The dome has to come back as part of the attachment. So yes, the dome will come back, and it will be. It will probably be like a tin color for the first couple weeks until it starts to turn green again. And that's the copper. Evidently, when you know it hangs out in the air for a long period of time, it starts to turn green. I'm hoping they clean it often so it remains looking like copper versus the green. Although there are those that do like that green look. Also, that's on the fire station, the museum, fire museum. Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
But we're excited about that one. So that was the last piece of the puzzle in our downtown, in our first phase with the redevelopment of empty buildings. So in the core of our downtown, I think we have no more empty spaces that are unspoken for as far as the potential for redevelopment. Now we do have a few empty, but we've got people lined up, and those are ones that the city owns that, you know, we're ready to roll with. This will include the 4 restaurants that will come in the next 6 to 9 months, you know, as well as, you know, all the other stuff that we got going on. Questions? All right. Well, thank you very much, and I'll see you guys in 2 weeks.